Hey, this is Eddie from Talking Shit with Jim Jeffries and Eddie Ift. I want to thank everybody for the donations, especially the people that have donated $2.50 and above. There's a total of
3 people, four people. 4 people have done that.
Yeah. So we'd like to thank Derek Jarman, Nick Bradley, Joshua Mancuso. Joshua Mancuso has helped out a lot. He's great.
Donated twice.
Yeah, and also Milan. So we love Milan. Thank you for all your support. You guys have been wonderful. Everyone else, if you haven't donated, you like the show, keep supporting, keep the show rolling. Go to our website, Jim and Eddie Talk Shit.
I think we've got a lot of Dago listeners. I'm looking at this list here. We got Chris Sadoki. That's got to be a wog if ever I've heard one. Michael Pintari.
Petnati.
Yeah. There's a cunt who'd have a bone through his nose.
So thank you guys. That's how we thank our listeners for the donations. You guys have been great. Go to our
Andrew
website.
Valley. That's a good name.
Yeah.
I'm glad, he bloody worked for that money. I like him.
Jim and Eddie talkshit.com. Use the donate. You get the posters and DVDs and T-shirts are on their way. I think Roy, our intern, just got the shit to send it out. So they're going to be coming soon. Thank you guys. And we got a special episode with probably one of our favorite guests ever today. We're going to have Brian Callen. No, we've got April Macy here for the show. So we will start that show now. Well, Jim puts a spider on me.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I'm really not afraid. I'm more afraid of how you are not afraid of spiders.
You're just controlling it. Stop it. Yeah. Take that away.
He's about
if you
to eat it.
That
it's
spider,
it's an inch away from his mouth. Oh,
please don't eat the spider.
Okay.
And please don't put the spider on me, for fuck's sake. You son of a bitch.
2 douchebags on a couch. One's an asshole, one's a grouch. And relentless, all their mouths. Jim and Eddie talk shit. Jim and Eddie talk shit. Jim and Eddie.
Welcome to Talking Shit with Jim Jeffries and Eddie Ift. I'm Eddie Ift. We're here in the Rape Cottage with the person that named the Rape Cottage. We've got April Macy is in the house. Also tonight we've got Ernie. As always, we have to have Ernie. Without him, we can't have a show. Machete, Ernie, whatever your name is. Jesse Shapiro's here. Roy went to get beer. Lalit's here. Jason is absent, and April's looking great in her fucking.
My sweet army fatigues.
She's wearing army fatigues that were probably.
Are they the real deal?
Yeah, I got these in Iraq. I feel real good about them.
After she did the walk of shame.
I have a pair of proper British issue Afghanistan army pants.
Yeah.
And you can't buy them. You have to get. So you feel kind of special.
Yeah, you do. That's why I wear them.
So I've got my special army pants, and I was at a music festival. I think I was pilling off my head, and I was just standing there, and then like some guy who was obviously a soldier came up to me and went, "So where were you stationed?" Because he knew you couldn't buy them. And rather than tell the truth, I named one of the bases. And said I was a cook. I looked at my body, I was thinking, what could I be? I was a cook.
I would have liked to heard you sell SAS.
Yeah, I said, I Camp Bastion. I was there for 2 tours. I knew all the lingo and everything.
I think I've lied about military experience before.
Yeah, I don't know why. I was on drugs, but sometimes you're lying, and as an adult, I've only just started doing this. In my 30s, I've just started doing this. Like when you're young and you're lying, and you have that thing where you go through your head where you're like, why are you lying? Yeah. Why are you lying to this person? Why have you just said that you accomplished something you haven't done?
Because you're empty.
Yeah. But now, like in my 30s, I do this. Like I'll tell a lie, going, "Oh yeah, I used to. I've actually had 3 specials, and I've had 2, but I'll say I've had 3, and you're like, why did I say that? Two's still really impressive.
Yeah.
But I feel the need. I'll go 3, and then I'll do this to someone. I'll go, I just lied to you. Like just to feel better about myself. I was lying just then. That was a lie.
I lied. One time I was in a taxi in New York City, and the taxi driver said to me, he said, where are you going? I said, the Comedy Cellar in the Village. And he goes, oh, are you going to see a show? And I said, no, I'm one of the comedians. He goes, really? Are you famous? And I went, no. And he goes, do you know anyone famous? And this is a while ago, like years ago. And I go, I know Dave Chappelle. I know Jim Brewer. I started naming all these comedians. Yeah. And he was like, I've never heard of any of them. And I was insulted by the fact that he hadn't heard any of them. He's like, you don't know anyone famous. And out of the blue, I went, I know Sylvester Stallone. And I've never met, I have no idea, I've never even, I've seen his movies, but I went, I know Sylvester Stallone. He's like, really? And I started telling this fabricated story about me and Sly Stallone. And then I was like, what am I going to gain from this? Is he going to be like, you know what? You know Sly.
A friendship with Sly Stallone.
Cabs on me. Free ride. But I got out of the taxi and I went, what the fuck is wrong with me?
There was a kid I went to school with called Ashley something or other. I can't remember his surname, but we were in primary school. And his big claim to fame that he was Arnold Schwarzenegger's godson. Right? And a kid in Australia. Yeah. Right?
Doesn't really happen.
Like the Austrian guy who lives in America. This was his. And he said, no, my dad's American. And I used to run a gym in LA. And Arnold Schwarzenegger used to work in there. And Arnold Schwarzenegger's my godfather, right? And so me and a couple of my mates just went after him on a daily. Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Really picked on him to the extent of crying. Anyway, one time he goes on holiday to America and comes back with pictures of him with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Really?
Yeah. And we're kids, we were like, oh, that's cool. We were wrong.
we had a guy, I was in a fraternity in college, and we had a guy named Brian Bender. I don't care that I'm saying his name.
Did you rape anybody?
We should have raped him. His name was Brian Bender, and he was a pathological liar. We heard stories about him from high school. He was the kid that would put oregano in a bag and say that he had marijuana and just constant lying, but to the point where it was fun. We enjoyed his lies, and he would just tell it, and you'd go, you're lying. You're lying. And then one day I'm on holiday with my family, and this is just a few years ago, and we're in a hotel somewhere, and I'm watching
oregano.
Yeah, and I'm watching TV, and it was during the war when we were bombing Afghanistan, and CNN brings on a defense expert. And I haven't seen the guy in 15 years. All of a sudden I go, it's fucking Brian Bender. He's an expert now. He writes for Blade magazine or some magazine that's a defense magazine. Jane magazine. Blade's my gay magazine. And I'm like, once I saw that, I'm like, you can't fucking believe anyone on TV. That guy's a pathological liar. And then the other pathological liar from my college is now running for Congress in New Hampshire. So I'm convinced that that's that. Well, you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, guys.
I think I was a big liar when I was about 10.
Yeah.
Was everyone else a big liar?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I
good.
lied to
Because
try to get out of coming to the rape cottage today.
I feel...
I knew you were lying.
I was committed to that lie.
Yeah, she said she was
I
sick.
used to make up
she didn't want to come tonight.
I know. She
I
was
was
sick.
so
She was just tired. But tired's a form of sickness.
No, I understand.
Yeah, I was
when
so
you get
tired.
when you get off the road and you have to go right back on, it's like
You got one day.
it's like prison.
Yeah, it
It's
hurts.
like you're on parole for a day. And
I got one day off and then I'm off again.
Yeah.
It's hard
Your you decided not to shave your face.
for weeks.
I'm not
Fuck
shaving
it.
for a movie.
Does it look bad?
I'm playing a janitor in a movie.
You guys both look homeless.
I have a story about this. I was home alone a week ago in the house all by myself. I don't know where Eddie was, but I was in the house by myself. And there was these in the alleyway that we live in. There was just these two of the most stereotypical fucking Vietnam vet looking bums, both in wheelchairs with matted down hair. One was chasing after the other one, and then he caught the other one, and they had a bit of a fight. And I start watching it. He tips one of the cunts tips one of the other cunts off his wheelchair, and there's just a wheel spinning, and the other one's crawling after him. You bastard! You bastard!
It never wants to gym
right?
help.
Yeah, no, wait for it, right? And then he puts himself up in his chair, and he wheels off, and I went, oh, there's that smelly homeless person done. Anyway, I go back. I fucking sit in the house, and then I come out. They're fighting in the same fucking position again, right? And I'm this time I'm not going to watch it. So I come out. I go, hey, the two of you, fucking sort it out. They're shooting a movie.
I saw them.
Take two.
I left the house when they were coming up the street to start shooting, and I saw the guy in the wheelchair.
Gary
and he-
Sinise.
And he was
It did look like Gary Sinise's character from Forrest Gump.
Lieutenant
Dan.
Dan.
Oh.
Anyway, they're coming up the street, and I saw them in the wheelchairs. You know what I think they're filming?
Right.
for some weird
Born on the
reason.
5th of July.
For some weird reason, they film Mormon films on our street.
Right.
What film?
I swear, I've like
Mormon?
like 2 or 3 times. There's been like a film crew out here, and I've gone, "Oh, what the fuck are these guys doing?" You know, and like, you know, it's tough to get permits and everything. And somebody, it might have been Lindsay or Jason or somebody said, "Oh, those are the Mormon. They have this Mormon film. They make those like from the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints commercials."
Right.
So it's probably like, take care of your vets.
It looked pretty legit. But the thing was, what went through my head was, this cunt's going to get tipped over again.
Do you think
Like, when's he going to learn?
Do you think they were really disabled or they were?
No,
faking?
they were like young guys dressed up as old blokes. They're only about 25 each and they had the old person makeup on. Once I got up close, I knew exactly what was happening. And there was a lady with the camera just looking at me, and I sort of gave them a big, carry on, don't worry about me.
But I like that the church has gone, you know what's a good place to film? This alley, you don't need a permit.
Well, I don't know if it could have been a church film. I don't know when the Mormon church ever goes, now for our message with the 2 fucking smelly homeless guys.
No,
in the
I can
wheelchair.
totally see the commercial because what they do is they'd have these guys.
Yeah, but
like,
why were they punching each other up?
I want to know, is that what you guys were trying to do before this whole podcast started? Just sort of reenacting the fight of the homeless people.
Oh, don't
We
bring
didn't have our
that up.
wheelchairs.
Oh, okay. Moving on. Oops.
Where do you go tomorrow?
Kansas City.
So when this airs,
Stanford
this
and
airs
Sons,
Thursday.
it's a family club.
You'll get to if you want to have a good time and you live in Kansas and you listen to this, which I doubt anyone does. Go out and see April Macy at Stanford and Sons, but really don't even go see April. Go see Craig Glazer,
I will be purged on
I
all
just
week.
don't
who owns
think-
the club.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's enough people in Kansas that own computers for us to even plug this.
Do you know Craig gave me a fur coat after he got divorced? He was like, "Do you want to come over and have Connie left her fur coat? You want Connie's fur coat?"
That's the worst Craig impression.
Is it-
Do your Craig impression.
Come over. No, I can do the brothers a lot better.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's a
Just
good
go.
Jack.
I tell you what, Jack and Jeff.
Wait, let's set this up. Our listeners don't understand. There's a family of 3 brothers that own a comedy club in Kansas City called Stanford and Sons, and they're all. How do we put it?
Craig's the one who really runs the whole boat. I think he's the middle child, actually, or he might be the eldest.
Okay.
And Craig's has been in prison for many, many years for doing elaborate stings. When I say elaborate
Posing
stings,
as DEA?
he had a police badge and he used to rip off drug dealers. I've read his entire book, and he's been shot at. He spent many, many years in prison. And he's not the one that's the fuck up. That's the best
Not
way.
even close.
Other 2
Not even close.
damaged, sad brothers.
The other 2 battle it out.
Yeah.
The other 2, I can't categorically say this, but they're on smack. And they sort of wander around and
glazed, sad glazed
I'm not
looks
I'm
doing
not worried
announcements.
about them hearing this either because they don't check their voicemail. There's no way they're downloading our
No,
show.
I don't think Craig would just like being talked about. I don't think the other 2.
Craig would actually.
I've heard those jail tales at every breakfast over the last
Have you seen
7
the book?
years. I've read the entire book.
I've
You
read it
actually
too.
read the
I got
book?
a signed copy. Don't
I've
you have
got
your
a signed
I got
copy
a
up
sign.
there.
I got a signed
You're
copy.
not special.
I've got one that says, in real life, I could be Woodbeck.
Woodbeck.
Wait, I was one of the broads if he's casting. That son of a bitch.
I wasn't anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about? What the hell
Woodbeck.
is
See, I'm
Woodbeck?
trying
What
to.
is-
Woodbeck is his partner in his stings, and Woodbeck was killed in a sting, and which is probably not true. Woodbeck probably had diabetes or something.
Oh,
but,
so he's got an actual book.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Is that to me or to
it's
you?
actually it's a good book. It's a quick read.
This is Eddie's copy. To my pal Eddie, tell Jeffries to stop stealing my girlfriends, damn it. I still got mentioned on Eddie's copy.
He loves you.
He does.
He loves you something awful.
Every time I talk to him, it's about Jim. He's like,
Really?
that Jim Jeffries, he's going somewhere. I'm telling you, like, you know.
He's a smart promoter.
He has. I've done.
Look at that picture at the top
see.
there,
Is
Macy.
that you?
That's what you want. That's what loving.
Wait, have you seen the, is that his shirt on?
That makes
That's
my
that's a bit
Oh,
of
that's the best
prison
picture.
rape.
Yeah, that's
Describe the picture,
Oh,
April.
Jesus Christ, that's ridiculous.
It's a picture
right
of
there.
Craig in prison. It doesn't look like he's in a country club prison, by the way.
No. There's a sweet garbage can in the background, some sort of metal
How do you
And-
get pictures taken in prison, though? Do they do that?
Oh, you bring your
Very
Polaroid.
crazy. Of course they do.
There's a man that charges $5 for Polaroids in
he's-
prison.
He smuggled in a photographer.
Did he tell
He
you about?
bought him for a packet of cigarettes.
Did he tell you about the time he fucked the woman who would patch through calls? The prison woman who patches through calls, and he
I
figured
think
out.
a lot of his prison stories are actually from the movie The Longest Yard.
We've got to find out. This is the Lompoc Prison Yard. I don't know what Lompoc Prison is, but I'm sure many of our listeners do. So if you do, let us know about that one. There's also a video on YouTube. Have you ever seen the animated show about the comedy club?
No.
It's really hard to find. I can't find it.
It's where they're seeing
Fucking hysterical.
a comic called Kenny Kramer.
Yeah.
Made it, and it's just a cartoon of he just went around the clubs and just tape recorded them a little bit. Like they didn't even know they were being tape recorded and made a cartoon to it. It's tremendous.
Here, I just want to read all the captions in a row real quickly that are underneath
that one there. I'll tell you what though, you give Woodbeck one, wouldn't you?
Is that you? That's
Yeah.
you.
That's
Woodbeck.
You got
That's
some
who
nice
Jim's gonna
tight
take
pants
up.
on. I hope you
if
play
they get
him.
the movie. You know, he claims he's got a deal. Who's the deal with?
Clint Eastwood.
It's Clint Eastwood. Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
knows that.
Okay.
How do you not know? That proves that you're not his
Clint
favorite.
Eastwood
That you
and
don't know that.
Zac Efron's playing him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is he?
I
Yeah.
thought Zac Efron wouldn't sign on. He was very angry.
So here are the captions underneath the picture.
And the book's called King of Sting.
King of Sting.
King of Sting.
It actually has soul. It's not a bad read.
Hold on.
It's a very quick.
Hold on, let me read some of these. Dawn and Craig at Hollywood photo shoot in 1981. If you're a criminal, do you go?
Yeah, but they were going straight and they were selling their story.
Okay, here's another
You
one.
ever seen the news story where they reenact their crimes for Entertainment Tonight?
No.
Oh, you got to see that.
Here's
It's
one.
like they go, "What did you do?" We do things like this. Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
We should
They
get
have,
we should get Jason to dress up like that and get a Hollywood photo shoot done.
Here's one. Craig and Hollywood agent Harold Muskovitz at Craig's Brentwood condo. In studio dressing room of Entertainment Tonight. By a pool in Las Vegas. Interviewed on Good Morning LA. At the weight pile in Lompoc
Yeah, but
Prison
here
Yard.
he is. He's with Orson fucking Welles having a meal. He's with Orson
and Warren
Welles
Beatty.
and Warren Beatty. He's not actually in that photo, but that's his girlfriend in the middle.
I believe that's who I'm going to play.
Yeah. She allegedly fucked Warren Beatty or something.
All right.
You were talking about he took me to the gym. Did he take you to the gym?
No, but he always asks me to go to the
The-
gym.
the-
But you didn't get a fur coat that looks like a German
No,
Shepherd.
this-
He never asked me to go to the gym. He just knows what I am.
He takes me to the gym. Here's the best part. And he walks in, and the massage therapist it's like a country club, little country club like type gym that he goes to. And they've got a pool, and he's like, yeah, we get margaritas, and we sit out here, and all the girls, and they come up, and there's some hot MILFs here, and I fuck everyone here. I fucked everyone. And so there's a woman that does massage, and he's like, wait till you see how hot this bitch is, or this broad's got a real ass on her. So he starts talking to her, and kind of I sense real tension, like he's 10 times what Jim's ever done, like when Jim like makes fun of girls. He's like, come here, bring that fat ass over here. I want to show you what I can do with that. And she goes out of the blue. She's like, fuck off, Craig. And he's like, huh? And he's still like, oh, what, you still mad because your husband's got a small prick or something? And she goes, no, seriously. She's like, Craig, fuck off. She's like, you know what? I fucking had it with you. And he's like, what are you talking about? You know, I just want to fuck you. And she's like, you know what, Craig? I'm leaving in a week. I'm done. My husband got transferred and I'm leaving. And I want to tell you how I really feel about you. And so the way I put it all together, he'd been sexually harassing her for like the last 3 years and she was quitting her job. So she's like, fuck off, you asshole. And he's like, I don't understand why you got to get all heated, you know?
He doesn't know. He doesn't know things.
The thing is, he will listen to this.
Yeah.
He loves me and you are his favorite.
We are. I think we go around from the country. There are many people
There are
where
many
they
people. The lovely man at Tampa.
Yeah, loves me.
I just got
I bet he loves you. Are you working side splitters
Yeah.
as well?
It's not bad money if you sell well.
Yeah.
Bobby
It's,
Jewell.
Bobby
Jewell loves me.
Bobby Jewell loves me, and April Macy's
Yeah.
his other favorite. Oh, there's plenty of
No,
people.
you know who likes April Macy the best?
Who?
The bartender who now from Off the Hook down in what's that place we play?
They used to have a bird that worked in that club that was so
What's the
fucking
name of
hot.
that club down in Marco Island?
Captain
Yeah,
Brian.
Captain
Brian.
Brian's.
Oh,
The
okay.
bartender now runs
There was
the Louisville
there was
Funny
a girl
Bone.
behind that was just, oh my God.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. I had fucking the bird from Transformers in the audience. I was still looking at the waitress.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox was in the audience at that gig.
Really?
And I was still fucking the bar.
Yeah, her
chick
and fucking Green, Austin Brian.
Oh, Brian,
Really?
Brian,
What were they doing down there?
Why are
They were on
Coming
vacation.
to see the Jeffries.
It's unbelievable the way he portrays things.
No, it was Thanksgiving. She grew up down there. They had nothing to do on a Thursday like everyone else.
The bartender there has contacted me like 50 times. He's a good Bobby, which I think I call him Captain Bobby because everyone there was a
Captain
Captain.
Brian. Captain
No,
Brian.
there's Captain Brian.
Right.
There's Todd, Captain Todd. Do you know?
Did
Captain
you go jet skiing? Did they take you jet skiing with dolphins for like 5 hours?
Do you want to make me
I
angry?
love
No.
jet
They
skiing.
just wanted to see you in a bathing suit.
Do you know about my fucking week down there?
You didn't get the jet skis?
They told me, they go, oh, this is the best gig in the world. You stay in this condo
It's on the water. It was
And you
beautiful.
have, and you have your own
Jet
boat and jet
skiing,
skis. And then the waitresses are really hot and fucking this, and the crowds are awesome, and you party all weekend. I get there. The guy pulls in at the Comfort Inn. I'm with Gary Menke. And I go, why are we stopping here? He goes, this is where we're staying. I go, no, I heard there's a condo on the water. He goes, Captain Brian sold it last week. And then I go, oh. So we go to the club, and I'm like, where are the hot waitresses? He goes, it's spring break. All the girls went away on spring break. And I go, okay. So Sunday comes around, and everybody's like, the jet skiing's worth it. You go jet skiing in like the Everglades
Yeah,
or
for like
something.
5 hours through mangrove
Yeah, with
lagoons.
dolphins and everything. they fucking swim with you. I'm like, awesome. He calls the jet ski place on Saturday and goes, just want to get you ready. We're bringing Eddie over to go jet skiing tomorrow. And the guy goes, yeah, next week we got a like spring break or whatever. And so the jet skis are all under maintenance. And I'm like,
You got fucked that week.
it was the worst fucking. And then he went the next week, and it was like the best week ever.
Gary Menke, we were at the Orlando Improv. That guy took such a shit in the green room. He really stanky Menke.
Have you met Gary Menke?
The whole
Better than Craig.
Yeah.
Better than Craig.
Such a dump in the green room.
Better
It was,
than Bobby Darwin.
Jim, he's better than Craig.
Yeah, but he's not. Craig's a different. Craig is actually a very charming guy.
He's very sweet. Like, he has a magic shell heart. Like, inside that crunchy exterior where he wears cut-off sleeves to morning radio.
Craig is sweet in a way. Like if I say, hey, Craig, I need a favor from you, he does it. But he also does like dumb shit. Like he fucks up constantly.
If you ask Craig to stop raping you, he would.
He does. There's a man in Kansas City. Every time I'm there, he brings me a $1 bill, a carnation, and a package of hot dogs with a card saying how many holidays we've spent together. And
Why a package of hot dogs?
Because I have a shirt that says I heart wieners, so I think it's like some sort of joke that he's bringing me wieners. And then I don't know how many cards it takes for him to murder me.
Do you
But I'm
ever
pretty sure I'm
pick
close.
up dudes off stage, like when you're on stage?
I've hooked up twice on the road. Once
That's
was at
it?
Dr. Grins. I made out with
I've done that in one night.
I've made out with a Dominican security guard, and then I got him fired, so I quit.
Why did you get him fired?
Just because he made out with me on the roof, and I think all he got was like a little tit off me. He didn't even get that much.
So why'd you get him fired?
Because he wasn't. He was
Oh, wait, he-
shirking his duties.
Oh, he just
as-
got fired. You didn't say fire that man.
No.
Oh,
He
okay.
just got fired for
They
making
told
out
him
with me.
stop banging the comics.
I didn't even fuck the dude. I just like had gentle summer kisses with him on the roof.
They told him to stop fucking the comics. It turns out Paul Mooney was there the week before.
Yeah, I think I've hooked up twice, and that's it. Because you guys aren't going to be raped or murdered on the road.
I don't know.
That's not true.
I've had a video camera stolen.
I've been kidnapped once where these two girls, I was so fucked up, I woke up in New Jersey and was like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like these girls took me. And I remember going through the tunnels and going, I was in the back seat going, I can't leave New York. I can't. And then the worst part is they took me to their house. I ended up having sex with the fat one. And
How fat?
pretty fat.
Jersey fat.
Machete. And the next day, they wouldn't even drive me back. They took me to a ferry and was like, here's the ferry. You just get on and it'll take you back to, like, I was in like Sandy Hook,
Jersey
New Jersey.
sucks, doesn't it?
But fucking to have to take a ferry home after you were
fucking a
raped
fat
by
woman.
a fat girl is not like that is the boat of shame.
I once had a threesome with a girl and another guy, and me and this guy had just met, and we picked up this girl, and he was fucking her from behind, and she was sucking me off. But the weird thing was, he kept eye contact with me the whole time, like he was a big fan. And as he pulled out and jizzed on her back, he clicked his hands and went, Jim Jeffries, can't believe it.
I don't get away with shit on the road. I'm always worried about being professionals, and you fucking animals.
You know what's weird? We are expected as comics to be professional, especially in America, where in like the UK, you can do anything you want and you're rewarded for it. I got a blowjob behind a bathroom door.
Not
at
as a
Jongleurs.
woman. Bullshit. Not as
no,
a woman.
no, no,
I
no.
go when I fuck some dude.
You
It's going to
can-
be a rumor forever.
You can
that-
take drugs in Britain and no one really says anything. I get drunk in this country, even after the show when I'm not gigging, like not on stage, and I get a phone call from my management.
It's because we love gossip in America.
Really?
And club owners.
You love being judgmental. It's a very judgmental society.
Yeah.
England's got plenty of gossip, though.
Yeah,
they
you're
are.
right. You're right.
I'm
It
always-
is. He's right. Judgment. Because in America, it's like they'll contribute to it. They'll get you fucked up, and then they'll tell on you for it.
I'm always smoking weed out of an apple with the kitchen staff. Some parking lot somewhere.
And they almost encourage that, but then it's like, I don't know if we can have you back. Last time you were here, you had your pants down. You know, you were doing dick tricks for everybody in the fucking storage closet. And you're like, but you guys were all laughing.
What dick tricks can you do?
Yeah.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, I can do. I'm
Bro, you can't
friends.
do the puppets.
I'm friends with. I'm
Puppetry
friends
of
with
the
all the
penis?
guys from Puppetry of the Penis.
Yeah.
In fact, they were gonna have me do. They wanted me to come on. I'm friends with.
I do a
Friendy.
pretty mean hamburger.
They wanted me to come on and do in Australia and do like come on and do a cameo,
Tricks.
and I'm like, fuck, I can't do it. I almost did it, but I think I might one night.
I wish I had a dick.
How is it being friends
Me,
with those
okay.
guys? Is that
Me-
Oh, fucking Friendy, and do you know do you know them at all?
Yeah, Simon and Morley.
They're the coolest guys you'll ever meet. And they used to be like stagehands, and they worked with, like for comics, and they were like, hey, we do all these dick tricks. We're gonna do a show. And somebody told me, some famous comic told me, he goes, that's the worst idea I've ever heard. And now they've franchised it to like 20 different countries, and they make.
They're now doing it in 3D. They do. They have 3D cameras, and everyone watches it on the big screen with the 3D glasses, the new ones. Yeah.
I don't think I could deal.
I
That doesn't make you gay
Me-
if you have
me
a
and-
3D dick in your eye.
me and,
I taught them how to do the balloon. I showed them one night. I'm like, you got to do the balloon, and they were like, what's that? And what you do is you hold your balls in your hand and you pull your scrotum through your hand, and you get it like as much of your scrotum out as you can. Then you put your thumb in your mouth and you start blowing, like fake blowing into your thumb, and you slowly let one of your testicles out of your hand into the scrotum, and it blows up like a balloon, and it's an amazing trick.
It sounds painful though.
me and Chris.
You want to
Ritter-
see it, April?
I actually kind of do. If you're willing to take your fucking
do it.
sack
All right,
out.
do it. Do it. Here we go.
Are you really going to show me your
Video.
scrotum? My ex and I used
Video.
this is really fun. My ex and I used to play ball or penis game, and he'd like take a little sneaky peek of like ball or penis, and I'd have to guess. Are you really taking your dick out?
He's
So,
taking
no,
his
he's only
ball out.
taking his scrotum
All
out.
right, Eddie's taking his scrotum out. It's
right.
just
Is that your
empty
nutsack?
scrotum. It's
That's
an
Oh
his-
my god, it's empty. It's really empty.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a flaccid nutsack.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
That made me so happy.
Lee, did you get the thumb move? Did him blowing? Oh, we needed to get that. Oh well.
Yeah, it's all right.
It was so sad and wrinkly, and then it poofed right
And then
up.
it came out. It was all smooth.
That was pretty incredible. I'm actually
Oh,
impressed.
and this is why I had.
I did cock tricks with Chris Ritter, who's the only promoter that I would actually really call a friend. and Chris is one of these guys. He owned a theater in Chicago, and he was one of those guys that encouraged you to get fucked up. Like it was his place. And then when the owner goes, get fucked up, you're like, he was bringing me shots in his club. And it ended with me and him doing fucking cock tricks, like teaching each other on stage, and audience members walking out. Like, just if you want to stay and watch, you can. But the show's over. That's all the jokes. From now on, it's just cock tricks.
Oh my!
And there was a lot of people that I thought everyone would stay. A lot of people went, no, I don't want to see that. I'll be gone now.
Oh, people with reasonable upbringings.
I did that in Brisbane at the Sit Down Comedy Club, where I did my show. Then I went upstairs and was drinking. And I started like telling jokes to people that were sitting around, and they're like, why didn't you do this shit on stage? I'm like, it's too offensive for my show. No, it's great. And the owner's like, why don't you come back down and do another show with all your offensive shit? So like they brought everybody back, and I did like a free show.
Can I just say I feel much closer to you now that I've seen your nutsack? I feel there's a real friendship here. That's real bonding that's happening.
You've got a very cliche looking nutsack.
Why is it cliche?
No, it's nice. You
Yeah,
don't want a
thank you.
weird looking one. When I think of nutsacks, your one just fitted straight into that fucking demographic.
What you're saying is it's not black like Bobby Lee.
It's not black like me.
Wait, Bobby Lee is a black nutsack?
And
Bobby
I
Lee
have
pulled
a,
his
I have a
nutsack out.
tumor pink.
It was darker than if you put our Mexican intern inside our Mexican engineer.
He said it was dark.
Why?
It's darker than Oprah's nipple. That was the line.
Why?
We don't know.
Why does he have a chocolate sack?
I have one as pink as a baby's vagina.
Jim's is almost albino. It's like an ostrich or like a possum's
Are
tail.
you taking your sack out?
just-
now?
Oh, here we go. Wait.
That's a pink looking ball, but Eddie's got a lovely. I'd like my sack to look
Yeah,
like
that was
Eddie's.
It had a nice
You didn't have
tone
any
to it. It
hair
looks
on
like
your sack either.
I don't have any hair.
I just don't grow any hair on
shave
mine.
it.
I don't shave
You
it.
shave your. It looks like you occasionally mystic tan your nutsack.
I don't know how people shave their scrotum. I cut my face occasionally, and it's pretty smooth. That skin.
I've had a few cuts in the process, but I'm getting pretty good at it.
I'll trim it, but I'm not gonna go.
I'd
Oh,
like.
I
Do you
shave- I
shave?
make it like a cue ball.
Do you shave your shaft?
Oh yeah, you got it down near the bottom.
Down-
Yeah. Because that's all. That's only where there's hair.
Yeah.
Brody Stevens used to have a joke where he goes, Brody talks. He's like, I have a hairy dick, people. That's right. I have hair all the way up my dick.
I believe he does.
I have a bit of hair down the lower end of the shaft, and I always think that's if I cut that, that's gonna make it coarser or get me like
an ingrown hair on
ingrown
your dick.
hair, cause a little bit of a cyst action.
Jim doesn't think about the girl and irritating her vagina. He thinks about himself and the cysts.
Well, as far as a woman, if I saw a dick with some sort of ingrown hair and it looked like you had the sweet herp on your
Yeah.
dick, I would be weary of that.
Because
dick.
Yeah, it wouldn't
I've
stop
I've
it.
had
No, I'd
You just said
dive
weary.
right into that. I would be skeptical, but I would go
take
back
a step
in.
back and then dive in.
I would
I've
reevaluate.
I've had that as well. I've had like the ingrown hair thing.
You wouldn't let
and
them
you
come
think-
inside.
But
you.
I've
No,
also had
no.
the when you fuck too
Only my
much,
ass.
when the base of the hair follicle gets all red. Have you ever had that one when you fuck too much?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I've had that one as
No,
well.
we both had the same thing.
I've
though.
gone in for herpes scares twice. I'm just so sure because they keep on saying like 1 in 5 people have it. I fucked a prostitute in Thailand
Did you really?
in the ass, and I would have fucked her in the vagina, but
You mean him?
there was a cock there.
Did you really fuck a Thai hooker?
There's
in
a
the-
lot of things I don't remember,
Oh, this makes me so sad. And
but I haven't
face
got nothing. I'm AIDS free. I'm herpes free.
You
I've
don't have
got
to worry,
nothing.
April. I don't fuck hookers. I just masturbate in their faces.
Oh,
Yeah, see, I'm a
I gotta tell
gentleman.
you, as a broad, like as a female comic, it's really hard to be around like just dudes like y'all that are animals.
You
it
say
gives
you
me-
tell that to me all the time. Every time I chat to you,
Yeah, because you're always telling me about like bloody shits and farting in a microphone and banging men.
Whenever I speak to you drunk,
Lady
it
boys.
always ends with you going, "You're an animal."
Because I forget.
I'm
I
a
forget.
good guy. I'm a nice bloke.
You have a sweet face, and then I forget you're
And
a
then she has
disgusting
two.
animal.
Then she has 2 drinks.
Yeah.
I'm not a bad person. I'm all right.
No,
Yeah,
you're a
that's
lovely
questionable.
human being. You're lovely to
Whoa,
chat
whoa,
with.
whoa. I know where I stand as a human being, and I wouldn't call myself
You're not as nice as me.
nice or you think you're a better person than me.
I'm delightful.
I think the level of damage, like I sniff out the damage on old Jim over here that I don't smell on you. I smell a little more, normal childhood, and it's very relatable.
But the fucked up thing about mine is that, like, I think
That you had love?
I'll be the first to say that
Oh.
I did have a really good childhood. But there's gotta be something.
Too ugly to be molested.
Somebody fucked me so hard that it went into my subconscious that I don't know about. Because it had to have.
You have to dig that up. You have to
I had
get to the root of that.
I had a manager one time. One of my Kerry Hoffman. You know Kerry Hoffman.
Oh,
Kerry
yeah.
said to me, he's like, you shouldn't be a comedian. I said, why not? He goes, because they're all insane. You know that. And I went, he goes, there's something wrong with you if you're a comedian. I said, no, I'm fine. He goes, no, there's something. He goes, all these comedians, they're really damaged. But I'm convinced, Jesse and I talked about this the other night, that comedy makes you crazier. Like, you go into it.
No, I feel it's for me. It's regulated my insanity.
I don't believe
Sorry,
that.
really?
I don't.
I don't believe it either.
Yeah, I don't think it makes you crazier though. I don't think it makes you. It makes you a little bit more. I think just any job that you're alone, all the
All the
time.
time.
Also, where I look at comedy, well, my style of comedy is I'm having an argument with just myself, and no one's disagreeing and telling me that my opinions are wrong, and that's a recipe for an arsehole right there. That if you say your thoughts without any repercussions, of course, that's a fuckwit.
But as you were coming up, there were people disagreeing with. Now that your fans come, they're all sycophantic, and they all go, "You're right, Jim. You're right."
I did a gig for Jay Davis the other day in front of regular people, and they stared at me.
What do you mean regular people?
Non-fans.
People that weren't diddled in their PJs?
Yeah, non-fans.
I don't think the Laugh Factory is normal people.
No, this was in Santa Monica.
Yeah, these were people who didn't already know who I was. And I've been cushioned for a few years now of people that are just like, yeah, Jim, women are whores. Yeah, Jim. And then you say it in front of actual people and they go, that's very disrespectful.
You're also rewarded for your ignominies. Like you...
Did you just use the word ignominies?
Yeah, but
It's very impressive.
What I mean is, Jim is like, or any of us, we have
these are
the
comfortable.
only profession where if you're an asshole and you tell it on stage and people laugh at it, it's like, good for you. You had sex with a hooker. That's so funny, and you get rewarded for like doing things that other people would go, you should be ashamed of yourself. So
There is the shame, though. Like, you deal with the shame, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any
Like,
other profession with the highs and lows that a stand-up comic has to go through in terms of going out there and just fucking bombing in front of hundreds of people. That's like serious. That's intense.
Well, maybe a bit cocky. There must be some times where that feels good, and then other times you just come off the road and you're a bit tired and it was your day off.
Yeah. You didn't want to drive to Venice.
you felt sick.
You just
Wink, wink.
You wouldn't let me away. You wouldn't let me get away with it.
You know
were like,
what?
cut the shit. Get down here.
She's like, I'm not feeling well. So I text like 4 other people. I'm like, hey, can you do the show tonight? And everyone's like, oh, I'm busy. I'm sorry.
You
I
just
was
wrote-
like- so I finally went, April, get the fuck down.
You wrote "you suck," which made my heart hurt, and I was like, "Oh, I
Well,
do suck."
You got to see my nutsack.
I saw both nutsacks. I feel there's
Listen,
3 more
you should-
nutsacks
you
left
should-
to go.
yeah. 4.
Oh,
That was a Lily joke.
That was a elite joke. I reckon.
I bet they're sweet, like little.
No, I reckon
They're like
elite has a
lychees.
vagina that looks like a nutsack without balls.
I dated a girl that I've said that before. And this girl, I can't say she's getting married now, and she's a nice girl, but her nutsack was so her nutsack,
Clit.
her labia, like the fucking flaps, hung down so fucking far that I could have tied them in a knot and put them to the side, and her dad was a plastic surgeon, and I was like, I mean, I know you don't want your dad fucking cutting these things
No.
up, but he could refer you.
You
to
could
a
refer you
friend.
to someone.
Jim and I fucked.
Would you tell your dad? You're like, "Hey, Dad, I got some sweet, giant, flabby lips. You got anybody?"
I got some
If
elephant ears
they're a
hanging
close family, he'd already know.
Jim and I had sex with the same girl, and
Not at once.
When was this? When was this?
I had her first. I
had a second.
You don't care.
It was
though.
good. There was no hairs there. Eddie shaved.
She had laser surgery on her vaginal lips.
And also respect from me.
Wait, what? She had laser surgery.
Yeah, she had them like they
They call it designer vagina.
And what did it look like?
they just fucking burn your lips off. I
Yeah, they
guess,
got rid of the lips because she had the meat hanging out, and then she had a nice
no more roast beef.
regular looking vagina.
Yeah,
I know a nude model who had a meaty vagina. I can't tell that story.
but it's like when they
why?
had.
Why?
Because she's
she's
a nice girl. She's a nice girl.
Well,
I'm not
this
gonna-
girl's a nice girl too. That we're talking about.
Yeah,
Is
but
her name Meaty Vagina?
Yeah. No, but this girl had a nice vagina in magazine pictures, but in real life they hadn't had it photoshopped out. So it's disappointing.
Was when you had sex with the girl that we both had sex with? Is that the only girl we both had sex with?
Christ.
Unless you've had sex with your mum.
The girl, the one that we both had sex with, I fucked her one time at Chateau Marmont, the hotel. She was staying there.
So fancy.
Yeah. And she's like, come over. And have you ever been there?
Do you only fuck women with money? Is that your thing?
Yeah. No, fuck no.
Okay. I just
my
want to
thing.
know.
When was the last time you had a porry?
Yeah. Where did?
When was the last time you had a bit of welfare fuck?
Yes, a sweet government cheese leg.
Yeah.
She'd have to be black.
When was the last?
Yeah.
When was the last time you had to reuse a condom because she was making you wear them and she supplied it?
Wringing them out, hanging them on a clothesline.
Have you ever been to Chateau Marmont?
No, it's April Macy.
No.
Let me rephrase that.
April Macy.
Have you ever been to Motel 6?
Yes.
Okay.
April Macy gets fingered on the roof of comedy clubs.
By Puerto Rican security
Only
guards.
one. He was Dominican.
Yeah.
He was Dominican.
Probably got him fucking sent back to his own country.
Chateau Marmont looks like a nice hotel. They use it in California.
I've been for lunch there.
But it's a shithole. It's like an old, dumpy, old fucking hotel. It's where Belushi died.
I saw her in the London in.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, she paid for a room in the London.
Yeah, she likes those nice hotels.
That's where Gordon Ramsay's restaurant
That's
is.
her
One of the
thing.
nicest hotels in LA. So.
But the
Where do you
balcony,
find
the
these
balcony's
girls?
old.
This was
and
years ago.
The hotel
Years
must
and
be
years
so
ago.
old. It must be when the average height was like 5'7" or something, because the balcony's like the ledge or the guardrail is like 2 feet high. And I was fucking her over it.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
was bent over, and I was so scared
You had it tied up like a horse at the front of her house.
that she was going over. And I just, while I was fucking her the whole time, I was thinking,
like a dad trying to catch a baseball.
and I was so afraid she was going to wake up on the pavement, and I'm going to have to explain why my DNA's all over her. I'm like, fuck. So I just had to pull her off that situation. And
You could have been honest about it. Would you get manslaughter for that if you fucked the girl over a ledge?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What if they fell?
How do you prove that she fell as you're fucking
How do you
her?
prove that you pushed her over?
I've seen
I think the
CSI.
dead body is.
Hey, look, if Keely Anthony can fucking die, that girl can fall off a fucking ledge and you're going to go away
Listen,
with it.
I've watched enough CSI to know.
I think I'd be a good parent, but I don't own duct tape.
I've watched enough CSI to know that they're going to go to all my past girlfriends. They're going to talk to them. They go, "Yep, he pushed her."
I've always thought that about if I even ever just get once accused of rape, it's game over for me. There is even if the accusation will stick. There is so much TV footage of me going like punchlines that are just. So I raped her. Like seriously, I have that 3 times as a punchline on different. Yeah, it's over. Hey, I want to talk about Amy Winehouse dying. And I want to talk about this seriously because I feel for people with addictions. I've lost someone in my life to suicide through addiction because their sister died of addiction. I just feel that when she died, because for some reason my fan page is like a place where if you want to say something nasty, you're welcome. You know, I haven't made it that way.
I wonder why.
But I don't know. But if someone's just said, "Oh, fuck that heroin-ridden fucking slut bag, fucking," you know what I mean? Thank fuck she's dead. Another junkie off the street. And then I sort of got a bit defensive of the Winehouse. Like,
I saw that.
I went like, "What the fuck is wrong with you people?" And then people start doing, "Yeah, but you make jokes about everything." Yeah, jokes.
Not hateful
Not
statements.
just hateful statements, jokes.
Yeah.
But also the
I
thing
saw
is,
what happened.
people started doing this. They started going, "Hey, how dare when these children have just been shot in Norway?" I hate this when people say this. This is one of the things I really hate because as humans, we hold the capacity to be upset at more than one thing at once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like you just go, "I'm Winehouse, not Norway. I've made my choice." Right? You can get upset by both. It's not like you see people wandering around going, "I have no time for Amy Winehouse right now. I'm still getting over 9/11." That's just who I am. I've been on that for,
You said something really nice, like, "I feel bad. You know, I understand addiction. It just sucks." And I wrote, Amy Winehouse died. I'm squirting out a little heroin for my homies.
Joke. See, joke.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that. Joke.
And not only did I get corrected for 3 spelling errors, which, by the way, if you correct spelling errors
You're an
on
asshole.
Facebook, on the internet, you're a cunt.
That's the only
You're
thing I
biggest
block for.
cunt.
I'm a terrible speller. I block for that. I block. I will lose you as a fan.
Who the fuck are you? Like, do you know everything in this world that you're like, I need to correct that? Like, people that correct shit, are you a fucking know-it-all? You know everything. Like, you have to go out there and like, no, this is fucking wrong. Everyone, every time there's a spelling error, it's the first thing they go after. You fucking spelled that wrong. I'm like, you're a fucking cunt. But some dude wrote, just leave it to Eddie. You know, Amy Winehouse dies, Jim takes the high road. And there goes Eddie for the joke. You know, like, and I was like, fuck you.
No,
dude.
I'm all right. As I said, I'm all right with the joke. And I would joke about it if I thought of something to joke about, but I do actually feel sorry for the I lived in Britain through her rising up to be famous. And like she's, like over here, she's a celebrity, but over there, she was in the papers every day. Mm-hmm. And that girl got hounded to a certain extent, but she was famous at like, so she died at 27. Her big album was 5 years ago, and she had an album. She was famous at like 20.
I honestly don't know how people handle fame that young.
You don't have any tools. You don't have any defense mechanisms built up at that age.
But the thing is, when I was 20,
Bieber will be dead by 30.
When I was 20, I loved taking
crossed.
ecstasy and stuff like that, right? Yeah. And I had no money, and I used to save up to buy it. And, you know what I mean? And if I had money, it could have been a disaster.
I remember when I was starting comedy, I was like 23 or something, and I had a little bit of success, and I started getting like development deals and stuff. And I just kept thinking this business was so easy. And I was like, nothing was giving me a buzz. I was like, this is too easy. And I kept like upping the level. And I was like, if this keeps going the way it's going, I'm going to be fucking doing heroin because I need another buzz. I need something more and more and more. And I didn't realize how hard this business is. And then the crash came and I failed really badly. And I was like, oh, good. Now I get something to work for and I don't have to do heroin.
I was a mess.
What
are you now?
Well, she's in her 40s now.
You're such an asshole. You son of a bitch. That's a lie.
Old lady Maisie. I tell you what, kids. I tell you, listen to me, see. Tell me, see. I used to be a horror in my 20s.
Darn it.
What, in your 20s? No, in the 20s. In the 20s.
Dag nabbit.
I used to Charleston the night away.
Is that how we talk?
Yeah,
It's like a talk out of one side of your mouth.
We do an impersonation of you, like you're Jimmy Cagney. Hey, you see, Dirty Rat. Hey, I'm April Macy.
I'm getting fingered by a Dominican.
Yeah, I'm being fingered on the roof. I got him deported. I did.
There goes my story.
Right, come on.
Can we talk about? You used to date Mitch Fattel.
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys friends now?
No. I think he's like banging.
Not since the 70s.
No. What the fuck? People are gonna think I'm 40, you asshole.
You've
Son
dated a lot of comics. Why would
I
you
tapped
date
out.
other
I've tapped
comics?
out.
But why would you ever think that would go well?
Because she likes other damaged people.
Yeah, that's where my comfort zone is. I don't
really?
feel comfortable around you and your Chateau Marmont crowd. I need somebody that understands a good beating.
Hey, listen, I'll push you off the roof.
It's not the same if it's not your dad.
Is that what it is? That's why you would date comics? Do you remember?
My childhood was so fucked up that I feel like to bring somebody home to my family, there's such a sense of shame that I can't date somebody normal. Was there an awe? Why was there an awe?
I didn't know. I was like, good.
No.
Bring your fucking family on the podcast.
I'm all right with people meeting my family. I think if you watch my stand-up enough, you sort of get the gist. And people actually go, oh, they're not that bad. Like people think, like girlfriends, whenever they meet my mum, they think it's going to be an horrific car accident. She's all right.
Yeah, I always think you exaggerate.
No, I don't exaggerate, but she's mellowed over the years. She's not as bad as she used to be.
Well, I remember watching you get in a fight on stage.
With Gary Goldman?
With Gary Goldman. She was dating Gary Goldman, another comic. And she got into...
Why are you crinkling your face?
It was fucking hysterical.
You got into an argument?
On stage.
In front of other people?
Gary Goldman's nickname, by the way?
What type of person are you?
His nickname's the Hebrew Hammer.
Is that his name?
He punched someone out at the Improv.
Dude, that's on tape, and there's
Yeah.
me in the background like, no,
It's
stop
fucking-
it.
How can
fighting.
How can we tell our listeners to find this?
Yeah, is it on?
Gary
it's on-
Goldman versus Heckler, right? I believe that's the name of
YouTube
it.
Gary Goldman versus Heckler, or
Goldman spelled Gulman.
the Hebrew Hammer.
Is that what it's under? I really want to watch it. And I think Gene Pompa came in and got a few sucker punches in. And
I love Gene Pompa.
He's such a nice dude.
How long were you going out with him for?
Gary, 4 years, and our relationship was shitty. Like I think we had like 2 good weeks in the entire 4 years.
Really? Was it one of those?
Oh, it was
That
so bad.
dysfunctional?
It was so horrible. And then we moved it across the country and put it in a smaller space and like watched it dissolve.
Isn't he married now?
No, he's divorced from that broad. Yeah.
I like Gary, actually. I really do like Gary.
Good. That fight, that was probably the funniest I've ever been on stage. Was that fight.
You were hysterical because I'm trying to remember what happened. But
He left me to walk. I walked home from
I know.
Westwood to West Hollywood.
Which
I
is
walked
about,
like
what, 10
12
miles?
miles. Yeah.
Why don't you get a taxi?
Because I wanted the guilt in the morning.
Man,
when
I walked 12
home.
miles. See you in the rain. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have streetcars anymore.
Yeah, someone
fight-
tried to rape me till they heard my voice and thought I was a man, you see?
You son of a
See?
bitch. We were driving there and he was like, do you think if I got real skinny, I could play Abraham Lincoln in a 3-hour movie? And I was like, what?
What?
Yeah, that's what I said. And he was like, you're laughing at my dream. And I was like, well, your dream's fucking stupid.
Why did he want to do that? And
That
why
was
did he
his dream.
stipulate to make it a 3-hour film?
It was very specific, his dream. And I was like, no, that's a really stupid dream. And he was like, you're laughing. You're a horrible person. And so we had this huge fight over Abraham Lincoln. And then, like, he refused.
This is when
Or score in 7 years
I'm
ago.
not putting my log in your cabin.
This is when I started liking you. I thought
really?
Yeah, because I didn't like you before that. And I
Why
saw
would you like me?
I don't know. You were a cunt. And,
I was not a cunt, you son of a bitch.
April,
you were so
you're
funny.
poor.
On stage.
I can't
He doesn't-
afford to take
I-
you.
He doesn't like the poories.
I could smell poverty.
So let me get this right. You were fighting with your boyfriend, like what? Okay, tell us.
We were fighting, and then I guess it was, they called him up to stage, and he was like, I'm not going up. He like shouted from the back, just send April up. Just fucking put her up. And I was like, what the fuck? Who doesn't get on stage? So then I got on stage. It was like weird and awkward, and I had to address
How
the
long
fact.
ago was this?
So,
7
7 years ago. So I addressed the fact that we'd gotten into a fight over Abraham Lincoln from the stage, and he shouted from the back, like, you're fucking walking home.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
He goes, you're walking home. And everybody's like, oh, this is getting good. And they start going back and forth. And he walks out of the room. And she starts telling like
All kinds of secrets.
small dick jokes and stuff. And like pointing to like him, like alluding to that it's him. And I'm
But he
not
sleeps with a blankie.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
And
What do you mean, like a blankie?
I mean, like I accidentally packed it when we had to put our stuff in storage, and he started weeping, like, I don't have my blankie. And then he called crying when we broke up. He was like, I want to be Sleepy Bees again. And I was like, we will never be Sleepy Bees ever again.
What's
What the fuck is
sleepy
Sleepy
bees?
Sleepy Bees? I don't know. Just snuggle and pretend we were bees. Just
You go
I'm gonna have
sleepy
to take a
bees?
shower.
sorry. I haven't seen it.
Sleepy bees?
Type in Gary
Sleepy
Gallman heckler. Gary's
You know
very-
what? Now that I'm thinking about it, the video might not be up online. I think the improv had one video, and I think it was
Like
Why would it be
lawsuit type
destroyed?
shit.
They asked it to not be aired.
It's
so.
genius.
He's a very
was a
good
great
comic.
video.
He's really funny.
The thing about that video though was, just to give you some backup. It was he didn't get. No one came on stage to punch him.
He dropped the
jumped off
mic.
stage and started beating the shit out of someone in the audience.
Right,
It
so
wasn't like
it's the opposite of what happened to me.
exactly.
and I've also seen him snap. One time at the Haha Club, I was dating this girl, and there was a girl on the phone in the audience. There were like 10 people in the audience. It was one of those shit like nights at Haha.
Yeah.
And Gary was just doing time, and he goes, "Get off your phone." And the girl kept talking on the phone. He's like, "Get off your phone." And then he snapped on her, and he started going, "You put the whore in horrible." And he was just going off on this girl, and I'm like, "Yeah."
no, it's like that's like you, Eddie.
And I was like, fuck her. Fuck this girl. And my girlfriend goes, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, how fucking dare you?
Did this
I'm
girl-
like, this
this-
girl deserves this beating.
Did the girlfriend at the time, did she have money? Did she have cash, this
Fucking
girlfriend?
loaded.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Inheritance.
No, he spit on a man in New York, I believe, too. There was
I'm liking Gary more and more.
there was a spitting on an audience
Is he
member.
is he a dirty comic? Or?
No, not at all.
clean.
He's so clean.
It's clean.
Always the clean guys that
He
snap.
played
There- 'cause
football
there-
for Boston
there's-
College, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's a
He's a
6'6",
big dude.
big guy.
Yeah.
Really
How
nice.
does he think he's going to play Lincoln at that height?
That's his dream.
That's how tall Lincoln was.
He wasn't 6'6".
Lincoln was fucking super tall.
That's why he wanted to get real skinny.
Really? All right.
Do you know though? Here's a funny. Buddy Bolton played Lincoln in a Adam Sandler film, and Buddy Bolton's a comedian from New York. I'm friends with. He lived in Venice for a while. Goes in on this audition, books the Adam Sandler film as Lincoln. The guy he beat out has played Lincoln on television like 300 and some times. If you were that guy, would you not find Buddy Bolton and kill him? That's like going.
Yeah, but that's not comedy Lincoln. he was doing.
I'm
he
sure
was
that
doing-
guy's. I'm sure that guy's played every Lincoln.
No, yeah, but comedy
I'm
Lincoln.
sure that guy has.
Comedy
slammed.
Lincoln's
he was-
reserved for Gary Goldman. That's who Comedy Lincoln's
He wasn't
ready
Bill
for.
and Ted's Excellent Adventure Lincoln, I'm sure.
He was.
I
a
think
good
he's
Lincoln.
the Lincoln. I think that guy's been Lincoln every time. They're like,
Alright.
get Lincoln in here.
So okay, so let me get this straight. So he spat on someone. Tell us that
Yeah,
story.
I believe. Oh, I didn't see the spitting, but there was a spitting in New York. I don't know. Anytime he's heckled, it gets real ripe and crazy.
I see. I as a younger comic, it used to, but now I'm just so yeah.
Yeah, I don't care
Yeah.
anymore. I used to
Yeah,
snap.
yeah, yeah. I used to snap, but I don't. You can't. It takes a lot to make me snap on stage now.
yeah.
But
I
I
haven't
like.
snapped
But do you
in
have
a
your
long
zingers that
Like
you just
tonight.
fucking come back at them with?
Yeah,
And-
I normally try to do it off the cuff. I'm quite fast. I think I'm normally
Alright.
pretty good with it. But but the times I have snapped is one gig in every weekend. My brain switches off, and I can't go off script. I'm just doing material the whole time. And if someone heckles me, then I'm fucked. Right. Because I got like 3 stock lines, not stock lines, 3 of my lines that I've got ready to go. And if they fail, then. And then I sometimes, if you ever see me do this on stage, this is when I have nothing else to say. If I ever go to you, I go, that's the last time you get to talk. You do it again and I'll fucking crush you. Like I've got all this stuff ready to go.
Yeah.
Right? I've got this stuff ready to go. That means I've got nothing ready. That's just me playing your bluff. That's throwing all my chips in the table.
My go-to was always like when I didn't want to play with you, and I would go, "I'll fucking kill you," and I would make it like I'm gonna go, and everybody would laugh because I'm like a little guy and I'm not, and it worked 90% of the time where people laughed, and every once in a while the guy would stand up and be like, "Really?" And like in Manchester at the Frog and Bucket, a guy came across and down the stairs, and I'm like, "Oh no." He's taking me up on this.
That's when he started a Charlie Chaplin across the room. And
No. I looked for the bouncers.
Benny
across the-
Hill.
No, that was Florida. The bouncers got this guy before he got to me, but I was
Good
like,
bouncers
I'm
at
gonna
that pub.
fucking. They have to be terrifying. This dude was coming to get me, and then I did it one time driving down Lincoln. I'm driving towards the airport. I'm on the way to the airport. I'm going to Mexico, and a guy's cutting across. You know, in LA, we have
This isn't even a gig. This is just where you've been angry.
no. I'm taking this to the next level. You know, we have the white crosswalks and the yellow crosswalks, right? White ones you got to stop at, right?
Yeah.
Yellow ones you slow down. That's what I thought. But you're
it?
supposed to stop at yellow too. A guy's
What's
crossing.
the difference? I just thought it was
You have to stop for both.
for Simpsons and Asian characters.
Guy in a yellow crosswalk crossing across, and I go, and I have to slam on my brakes because he's going and I'm still going. And then he goes, "Hey, motherfucker, you see that? That's a fucking crosswalk, motherfucker." And I'm like, and I just stop, I pause, and I roll down my window and I go, "I'll fucking kill you." And he loses his shit and starts like Tasmanian deviling, like fucking spinning and stuff. And I laugh and drive off. And I go to Costco because I had to buy a suitcase, don't ask why, to get on the plane. I go into the fucking Costco.
Well, you're going on holiday.
Yeah, but I didn't have the suitcase.
Why wouldn't we ask why about that? That seems like a
Totally
reasonable.
reasonable.
do you buy a suitcase on the way
If
to the
you
airport?
said I was buying a vase, we'd go, "Why are you getting a vase?" Okay. You know?
Yeah, all right. So I go into Costco, I get the suitcase, I come out, all 4 of my tires are slashed. And I'm like, and Costco has a tire center.
Thank God.
So I'm like, but I'm in front of it. I'm like, this is how they get business. I'm like, this is the most corrupt business model I've ever seen. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I go over to them and I'm late for the airport. I'm going to do the gig in Mexico down in Cabo. And I go over to them and I'm like, dude, my tires, can you guys fucking fit? And the guy's like, look, I don't fucking, and I'm like, did you guys fucking do this? And the guy's like, no, I can. And while I'm looking at my tires, like, how the fuck did this happen? I see the guy on the bike that I said, I'll fucking kill you, pop up from behind a bunch of cars and start running away. And I go, you. And he had been calling me fuckface when we were arguing. He's like, fuckface, yeah. So I start going, hey, fuckface, because that's our only thing to relate to. He's riding down the street on his bike. So I start chasing after him in flip-flops. And if you've ever run in flip-flops, you know you can't run.
Yeah.
So I kick him off.
Even in sneakers, not as fast as that.
So I start sprinting after this guy, and I'm like, all I need is a good red light or trap, and I got this fucker. I'm gonna get him. And I'm running, and I'm in bare feet, and my feet are starting to burn. I'm like, this is hurting really bad. And he gets a green light. He goes through. I'm like, fuck, he got away. And I look down, and my feet are just bloody on the bottom from sprinting after him. So I'm like, fuck. So I go back. Turns out he pulled all the pins out of the little thing where you blow up the tires. So they just put new valves on and fixed it. So I go to the airport, and I wrap my feet in like paper towels and get on the plane with like bloody feet in like with fucking like all kinds of gravel and shit in them. I get to Mexico. I've got to go to a Mexican hospital with like bloody feet. And they're like, oh, we got to give you Novocaine. We got to do this. And they had to scrub my feet with with a scrubber. You ever had that where they scrub gravel out?
No, I've never had that.
It was so painful.
I bought a suitcase, so that's the only bit of the story.
That was relatable.
Everything else, I'm like, why are you chasing after a man on a bike?
I was so
With
angry.
no shoes.
If somebody let the air out all four of your tires, you're not going to chase after them.
Oh, no, I'd be pissed off.
I was heckled by Olympic gold medalist Oksana Bayul.
Where does that come from?
You're talking about heckling. We at Stand Up New York, Carrie Hoffman's establishment. She shouts out, "I am so much hotter than you!" like a minute into my set.
She's not though, is she?
No, she's
Isn't
a reasonably
she a little
attractive.
fucking muscular
She's a little
little
like
fuck?
boozy in the face, and it was the middle of winter, and she had like a midriff top on and a clip-on ponytail.
Oksana Bayul.
Yes, Olymp figure skater Oksana Bayul.
I want to
And
see her. I don't remember. I don't remember her.
I told her that I would beat her with her own ice skate and make her stand in a bread line.
Like athletic girls are good too. I dated a chick that was like a college soccer player, and she could squirt.
Yeah, but
What are you talking
I
about?
don't think...
Can you
I don't-
squirt?
I don't think I've ever squirted.
No,
That might have been
you can
some-
either squirt or you can't squirt.
you can't
It's-
squirt.
you know.
It's almost like if you're a squirter, when you first start doing it, it's so embarrassing that you tell people, "I'm sorry, I'm a squirter."
I've only had one, and she really squirted.
Yeah, I had one. She apologized.
I had one that
Watch
sort of went...
out! I'm about to. Yeah, the girl
It sort of
goes,
flooded.
Oh.
But one that actually projectiled. Yeah, I've only
Is
had
that a
one.
turn on?
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah,
This
but you
girl
don't- you don't want to
This
fret on
girl goes to me. She goes,
You don't want it a
she
lot?
goes, I was fingering her on a
a
toilet.
lot of liquid.
And she goes, I'm about to, you're going to think I'm peeing.
Oh.
And I'm like, what?
That's because she was peeing.
It was pretty gross. But
I have a question. Is squirting the same as orgasming? I don't know.
it's
No, they only squirt when they orgasm.
They squirt when they orgasm. And to the point where I couldn't have sex with this girl in a bed. I had to have sex with her on a floor.
Yeah.
This is a girl I've talked about her. She became a prostitute.
Did you both
after
fuck
me.
her?
No.
Okay.
She became a prostitute after you.
Yeah, she became she was doing like Craigslist hooking.
Oh.
Yeah, like told me too. She's like, "Oh yeah, I get $300." I'm like, "You can get more." I'm like,
Did
"I'll
you
pimp-
fuck her
I'll
after you
pimp
knew
for
she was a prostitute?
No, I fucked her before. She's
Okay.
not anymore. She's a nice girl, actually. I shouldn't talk about this.
Why? That was
I
my
fucked
face
two
of
girls.
judgment
I
right
fucked
there.
two girls that became hooker. Another chick told me she gets like $25,000 a weekend.
Yeah.
Are you sure they're just not lying to you?
No. A lot of girls stop enjoying sex and do it for the money after Eddie. it's when you take love out of it and you make it just a commodity.
Yeah. I want to know the appeal of the woman with money. I want to know what that does.
Oh, I don't know.
for you.
That's not true.
It's not?
No, I was joking. I don't care. I'm totally superficial.
Is it more appealing,
No,
though?
it's all looks.
Okay.
It's all I care about.
I tell you, I hope my brother Scott's listening because he'll say that this actually used to happen. My father's a perv, like a good old-fashioned pervert, right? That's like his go-to thing, right? Now, my mother is a stern...
That's what he's known for.
Yeah, my mother's a stern
What's your dad's
woman.
name? Gary, like when Gary comes down to the bowling club.
Yeah, Gary.
Here comes Gary the perv.
Gary's a bit of like if you had like a female that you went to school with who was quite hot, who was like 15, Dad would ask more about her. You know what I mean? Than the other students. There was one called Kessia or something in my school, Kessia Willis, the people I go to school. And my dad, this girl hated me, wanted nothing to do with me, was one of the cool, good-looking kids. And Dad would always go, how's Kessia doing? Is she all right? Like, I don't hang out with her, I don't talk to her, but Dad was very concerned with her upbringing. Anyway.
That's really creepy.
So what happened was we'd all sit at home and me and my brothers would watch a film and we'd do this, like we'd just be watching something like Labyrinth. We'd be watching Labyrinth, enjoying ourselves. And then like in unison, if Mum was out of the house and Dad was at the other end of the house, me and my brothers would start going, ah! Look at those tits, like that, right? My dad would just appear out of anywhere, just like, what are you all watching here? What's this film you're watching? And then Dad would sit up and watch the next hour and a half of Labyrinth, thinking there may be a bit of tit.
I think David Bowie did show some during that movie, though.
You could really see his cock and
If
balls.
you think about it, though, think about how hard it was to see.
Oh, before porn, he wasn't allowed porn. He didn't,
Unbelievable.
He still can't use the internet. So we used to do this. This is back. Remember when you used to use TV guides, and that's how you'd choose your thing before you, like you'd have the magazine.
Yeah.
And my dad would get, when his vision was going a bit bad, he'd go, read me the TV guide, and we'd get it out like this, and you go, on Channel 7, they have the show Water Rats. Friends on Channel 9. And we go through the channels. Now, there was this foreign language channel that was all in subtitles. SBS. And SBS was only good for watching soccer and occasionally like some mild porn or a documentary of something. Like we didn't have cable. And so I go, and on SBS, a documentary about Lithuanian prostitutes. And like you'd make it obscure like that. Yeah. And then Dad would go, oh, yeah. And then he'd go, maybe we should watch, we'll check that show out about the prostitutes. And so you'd sit there and you go, oh, it must be starting soon. You'd watch an hour documentary on making cheese, like in Sweden or something like that. And Dad would be just happy as Larry.
We had. I remember when we first got HBO and Cinemax, and we had a box. The box had a cord that went to the TV, and you would push down all the buttons to get to whatever channel. And then HBO and Cinemax had a lock from underneath. The box was locked. And this is how bad a perv I was, that I found out if you unscrewed the bottom of it, you could like take the lock off and then watch it. So as soon as my parents left the house, I was like, unlock, I'd unscrew it, unlock, watch Cinemax and watch. It was like Emmanuel on Taboo Island. Emmanuel was always softcore porn. And it was
yes. Erotic Emmanuel. Yeah, I know that.
But then I had to lock it again as soon as I was done. And it was like unlock, lock, unlock, lock. And I was like, what does my dad do?
My parents, we had a Betamax video player, and we once rented a film. I don't know whether by design or by accident, but someone put a porno in the cover. It was like a kid's film that we had rented. We got like a Benji film or something like that. And then like my father said, oh, this film shouldn't be in here. You remember how you could rent porno? Like people rented it. Like it was just,
the video store.
Yeah, the video
still can.
So yeah. We rented this porn by accident or whatever. And then my dad said, oh, let's not return that right away. like he hadn't seen a porn for years. And then my dad and my mum sort of let him. And I remember this distinctly as a child. My mum said, "Oh, your dad wants to watch this film." I think he pirated it as well, like because we had two Betamaxes that sat on top of each other. We were cutting edge. And
you were the kind of people that would record off the one.
Yeah, we'd borrow an extra video from video player from the people next door, and then we'd put the video in. You put a blank tape in, you put the cord, and it was just such an elaborate thing. And then you'd read all that stuff about piracy, and Mum was really nervous about it, but Dad was kind of cool with it, but he didn't know how to do it. And so we'd pirate everything. We had everything pirated. And my parents had a magnet that would sit in the video cabinet. In case the police came, we were there to wipe all the tapes while they were to hide them at the door.
That's fucking elaborate.
Yeah, because my parents thought that there's going to be a big bust going on. Anyway, so my dad pirated this point. And so I said to Mum, I said, why can't I watch? She goes, it's an adult film. And I go, what way? I go, how's it different? She goes, it's just like the films you watch, but everyone's just walking around naked. And I went to my room like, What a stupid idea for a film. Like as a child, like what? People get. It's not even realistic. No one walks around naked.
How old were you?
I got a hold of a porno film called San Francisco 2000, I think it was called, for some reason. When I was in I must have been 8th or 9th grade, and it was the first full hardcore fucking porn I'd ever seen. And back then it was like the girls had total bush and everything, but it was amazing. And I used to friends used to come over to watch this. We'd wait till everybody would watch it. And then it got to the point where it circulated around the whole school. Like I loaned it to this guy who loaned it to this guy to this. And it was the best commodity. I was like, I got the porn. And everybody had it. And then one day we watched it 1,000 times.
It was black and white by the end.
We watched it. And I remember having a kid out, my dad was out somewhere, my mom. And I had a kid out in the backyard. I go, you watch. When my dad comes in the driveway, you make sure you come and tell us so we'll pop it out and put something else in. So we're watching it, and all of a sudden, his name was John Epstein. This kid, he was like our Jason. Comes running in the house. He goes, your dad's here. Your dad's here. And my dad's standing next to him. And so I just jump up, hit eject. And at that time it took an hour for the tape to come up. So my dad's next to me while I'm grabbing the tape. My dad's like, what is that? And I just run out the front door and I ran away. I ran away from home till they did the, you can come home now. And I hid it, and they go, I put it in a plastic baggie somehow, and I hid it somewhere in the woods.
Yeah.
And
I'd always hide porn in the jungle.
Yeah. And then my parents were like, where's the tape? And they go, what was it? I go, it was Hard Bodies, and a Cinemax movie. And I go, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And my dad goes, where is it? And I go, I destroyed it and threw it in the sewer. He goes, good, that's where it should be. And then the next day I was in school going, who wants to buy it?
I was a retard with that type of shit, but my brother was just a great engineer, and so this has nothing to do with videos, but we had magazines, and he created a fake bottom to a drawer that we had, where it was basically we stash him underneath it, and then you could pull out the bottom of the drawer, and
that's
everything
awesome.
was in there.
Me and my brother, we both inherited a job where we have so much porno magazine. I think I've told the story before, but I used to do a paper delivery, and at the end of the shift, they used to throw the magazines out the back of the newsagents, and I had mountains and mountains. But I think it's different now because my nephew's 13, and from what I can gather from talking to my brother, it's just he can't stop it now.
I know, there's no way.
So he just has to,
then are you totally desensitized at that age if you're watching
Why
hardcore porn online? Are you?
No. Here's what's happening.
The thing is, you watch so much porn. Looking at a woman like you to them would be disgusting.
I read
old and natural.
I read a statistic, or there was a scientific study, and they said that men are losing their libidos because of that. Because we're becoming desensitized, we watch so much porn. I asked Colin, who used to work on the show all the time, and he's 21, 22. I go, remember when it was really hard getting porn? And he's like, no. And I go, when you wanted porn when you were little, what did you do? He goes, I went on the internet. And I'm like, so you could always get porn? He goes, yeah. What? So it was just
there's not one kid in this world that's ever hit the no, I'm not 18 button. I don't know why they insult these children with this quiz that they'll never be able to pass.
When I was a kid, I used to play this video game on the computer.
Laser Shoot Larry.
Where they made you answer questions about Nixon and shit that.
To get into the game, you had to answer questions that a child would not know. Right. Now, you think it's hard. Imagine being an Australian child answering a question about Lyndon Johnson.
Wait, what's the name of this video game?
Leisure Suit Larry. You didn't even actually see naked.
Larry the Lounge Lizard, Leisure Suit Larry, or whatever.
Yeah, you didn't actually even see naked chicks. All you saw, it was a computer animated shit.
That's where he goes, fucks that hooker on the bed. You got to find a condom.
This video game, you get the fuck hooker.
Yeah, but they cover it with a black square that goes up and down like this.
What?
There should be a YouTube clip of it.
This is what it says. This is the hooker's seedy bedroom. The bed is a mess. Ditto the hooker.
So, so it was you had to figure out how to fuck the hooker.
You had to figure out how to do it. So you had to type in things to say to her.
The best thing about that is the plaster cracks on the ceiling.
Yeah, that's one of the more.
We started off with the seedy hookers, and then you got the better hookers.
They still make Larry the Lounge Lizard games. That's not the original one.
Why don't you get this now?
I've had one recently. It's not very good.
For some
There's
reason.
one that one with the two tits in between. I played that one. That one is you just play beer pong a lot to get the girls naked.
Wait, April Macy, how did you get porn?
Well, you see, yeah, you got these gangsters, yeah, and you got it smuggled in.
They used to wrangle up a few whores.
I didn't really discover porn until as a girl. You don't. I think
You don't
I read
care.
erotica.
See, this is my philosophy. You guys don't
Now
like
I
sex.
watch porn.
That's why it's always rape.
Luck be a lady tonight.
No, I enjoy porn now.
No, you don't. You just fake it because you think
Yeah.
eventually
No,
you're
I-
gonna get mad.
You like
It's gonna
you
try to
like
get
watching
pregnant.
anything
I
that
watch-
makes you feel alive.
I'm so empty. I'm so sad. No, I watch like girl porn.
Girl on girl. Because
No, not girl porn. I need a cock in my porn.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I do. I don't watch lesbian porn. I don't get it.
yeah. It's
Jim's always said the more cocks,
If
the
you-
better.
The more cooks, the better. There's this
He wants to see a girl get
There's this
destroyed.
one that I watch a lot at the moment, Lauren Phoenix or Phoenix Lauren or whatever, and it's just no problems for her.
I sent out a Twitter that said that Sasha Grey was the jackass of porn because she just like takes a beating every time, and everyone wrote back, "You haven't seen Belladonna." Who's
What's
Belladonna?
Belladonna?
You don't know who Belladonna is?
no.
Fuck off. You don't know who Belladonna is?
No.
I don't memorize.
Okay, this is the thing. Belladonna is probably one of the most famous ones ever, but Belladonna,
Don't put her into Google. Put her into you.
no, but yeah, Belladonna she's like the poster girl for like redneck who you turn into porn, who got really good at it. No, you have no idea. No, it's
Belladonna?
one word. That's her.
Which
one?
one?
The one with a gap in a tooth with a tattoo coming over the top of the tip. But I've gotten so old that she was my go-to. She was the only one I wanted to wank to.
Why?
And now she's too old for me.
What?
Because I've been wanking to her for 8 years.
It's weird because we have her on next week.
I watch.
I'm just kidding. We have Kaylani Lay coming on next week, I think.
I don't feel so bad if there's like beach scenery in my porn.
Kaylani-
About watching a woman get pounded.
Oh, I hate it
There's,
when
like-
they're outdoors.
I like
It
that.
seems too staged. I hate the outdoors.
That's one of my favorites. Is wait. I just read Belladonna MySpace blog STDs. That's good. No, what
Look, she owns her own companies now. She's a
I like to
multi-millionaire.
see them when they're in like a place, like when they're doing on a train, and you know it's real, and the girl's like fucking like sneaking it in there. I like as realistic as possible. I hate fucking artificial porn when the girl it's acted and they're doing all the angles and move the leg this way and move the leg.
I agree with you, Eddie.
It's still active, but there's still a cock gun in there.
Also on the beach or outside in the water, I'm always like, that's so uncomfortable. I know I've tried that before. It just doesn't fucking work. Those people aren't having fun.
There's a thing on the internet where you do now where they show you your like
Life expectancy?
yeah, kind of like where you are like age wise, and you figure out by like you put in like your lifestyle and what you do and everything.
They
There's
tack it
another-
on for like
They've
booze
got to
and
put in a
cigarettes and-
YouTube clip called Jim Jeffries' Grumpy Young Men. All right, if you watch that clip, the second one, you can see me as what's the first one? You see what I look like as an old bloke.
Ooh, I don't know if I want to watch
Oh. Is that you?
Yeah,
That's you? That doesn't even look like you.
That looks like me.
That does. What just
wow.
happened to your face?
Yeah, but they do an effect to make what I'd look like older. They're
What is
making
that?
me go
What is that
down.
show?
It's a
Let me
TV
see.
show in Britain.
Wait, take it back. Yeah.
That's what I look like when I'm an old fella.
this. You don't look bad, Jim.
Yeah, you don't look bad. You got some liver spots.
I don't think I'm keeping that much hair between the two of us, but
Other than the liver spots.
and the shirt's aged very well.
And they're being generous on your size.
Yeah. I've kept my jowls in good shape. And then we'll go down. Hang on.
Do you have suspenders on as an old man?
Your
Yeah.
ears look really big in that, though.
Because your ears grow as you
Your
get older.
ears and your nose grow.
Never
as you
stop
get
growing.
older.
Never stop
Really?
growing. Yeah.
Same with your labia.
No, but you look at old people. They got these big, massive ears. Your ears and your nose never fucking stop.
Your nutsack grows too, doesn't it? But your dick doesn't.
Well, your nutsack, I would imagine that's just gravity pulling your sack
It
down.
does though.
Yeah. That's me. That's me as an old
How do
fella.
yeah, it's not so bad. Those cheek spots, it just looks like a little bit of rouge.
We all know I'm going to lose my nose to skin cancer or
I've
something.
I've done the bald app with you, haven't I? No, I did the fat app with you. You don't look that bad
Yeah,
fat.
it didn't look that much different.
No, I did Jason as the
Press
fat
play
app.
in it again.
yeah,
I want to.
nothing
I want to
happened.
see what they reckon I'm going to look like at 40. Yeah, that's all right.
It just looked like they gave
Wait,
you a
but-
black eye.
I got a good head of hair there. I don't know.
And then, look, you're still yelling in this.
Yeah,
Even when you get older, you're not going to stop.
No, but it comes. He's yelling when he's young.
it's a stupid advert. I think I'm saying something about people who own iPods are cunts. Or, like, this is how old the show is, that I'm complaining about that technology.
You know what? I said cunt the other night at the John Lovett Center in a joke. And
John Lovett Center.
He doesn't have a
John Lovett
center. I'll
Center.
tell you that right now.
John
Does he have
Lovett.
a whole center?
I take that back. The John Lovett's Comedy Club. And I couldn't believe how upset people get still in America by the word.
Cunt?
Yeah, it's just such a... And Jim just... You get away with it like it's murder. I'm amazed.
Never had a
at-
problem.
No.
I say it.
Isn't that right, you cunts?
Why,
this
where are you
point.
flying tomorrow? Kansas City?
Kansas City.
Don't tell Craig about that.
No. Does
Got
he,
to Kansas City on a Friday. What's next? Everything's up to date in Kansas City. They've gone about as far as they can go. You can turn
This
a
is the gayest
radiator
show I've
on
ever
whenever you want some
done.
heat.
Officially the faggiest show ever.
I want to know how we're the favorites. It makes me very happy.
We are the favorite at lots of things. Do you want to
Yeah.
know why? Because
Why?
we don't bullshit.
No.
We say it like it is, Macy.
And I bring cupcakes from time to time.
Do you?
It's a little by my
You
favorite.
really do that?
Well, like if a staff's nice, I'll pick up like cookies or something.
What do you tip for a weekend for a staff member?
I usually tip every night. Do
Yeah,
you tip
me
at the
too.
I
end?
tip at the end. Yeah.
Do you go to one person?
I normally give like the owner of the club. I give him a wad of money and say split it amongst the.
Oh yeah, that's never reaching them.
Doesn't it?
Yeah,
You're
no.
an idiot.
Doesn't
You've
it?
tipped them
No,
nothing.
you just put the money in their pocket.
I think
Yeah, whoever brings you
trust
shit.
that
No wonder the
someone would-
staff hates you at every club I go to.
Do they?
Yeah, they're like Jim Jeffries, fucking cheap, fucking motherfucker.
That's never happened.
Every club I go to, and I go, oh,
Bullshit.
and I have to make it. I go, oh well, he's Australian. They don't tip in Australia.
That's never happened.
and then the owner goes, I fucking love that guy.
That's, the staff have never said that, have they?
Every club.
If you want the staff to
Are
see,
you bullshitting me?
no,
Jim,
They're
two
just-
What? Staff love me at these clubs.
Yeah, they just think you tip a lot because you're dying of AIDS.
Yeah,
Delete.
they think you tip a lot because you're trying to buy love.
Very few
Honestly,
time
do the
left.
staff call me cheap? I'm very good at the tipping. You're bullshitting.
no, Jim. Though, if you give the money to the manager, then that's
It's not.
You book a club. Do the staff dislike me?
no. But I didn't book a club while you were working it.
Oh, no, it's-
but at the
fair.
same time, if you're giving the money to a manager,
Yeah, but I never give it to like the owner. I give it to like the manager who's
The
playing
manager
at the
puts it
Yeah,
in his
the
pocket.
Yeah,
manager
I mean,
is on
you should-
salary
you
at
should
some
you should
club.
spread it.
What type of cunt would do that? I don't want to walk around and give everyone money.
Well,
No, but I mean,
well,
if
Jim,
someone,
let me tell you.
if at the end of someone's been serving you, you have a green room, host or
Yeah, whoever that
waiter.
is, I would just tip them.
I
nightly.
don't like tipping when I'm not drinking. I don't like tipping for Coca-Cola.
at all.
Not for Coca-Cola.
You
I,
give like
I
a
understand
5
that.
or
I
a
respect
10.
that.
For Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
They're
I do it,
bringing you-
but I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing it for alcohol when I'm drunk. You can bleed me dry.
But it takes the same amount of effort to pour a beer as it does a Coca-Cola.
I know, but I'm not enjoying myself as much.
What you don't drink at all anymore?
I try not to, but I slip up every now and again.
Okay.
Who doesn't?
But I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good with the whole thing.
I don't understand.
With the not drinking?
Yeah, I'm not as bad. Look, this is the whole thing. People can call me an alcoholic or whatever because I slip up every now and again. But the fact of the matter is I used to be drunk 6 nights a week, and now I'm drunk about once a fortnight.
Once?
How long is it fortnight?
Okay.
2 weeks.
Okay, that's
Do you
not
know
bad.
they say the first sign of an alcoholic is trying to control your alcoholism?
I know, but if you're controlling it and you're an alcoholic, then I'm a controlled alcoholic.
Oh. I drink to avoid intimacy. Is that considered
What does that mean?
alcoholic?
I don't even understand.
I'll tell you
that.
what I learned. I don't drink as much anymore, and I learned one thing. I used to think I really loved people and I was a social person, and I realized, no, that was just alcohol. I
No.
hate people. I hate them.
All of them?
When I'm sober, I don't want to be around anyone. When I'm drunk, I'm the life of the party, and I'll talk to everybody and anybody. But when I'm sober, I just want to I'm a
Yeah,
Yeah, but
recluse.
that's why I drink so I can get along with others.
Yeah.
I don't get that. When people are like, "Hey, save the world," I'm like, "Why? I don't like them."
I drink so I don't have to make eye contact.
You can just make cock contacts.
Yeah. I
How
don't
many
have to feel so bad.
horrible conversations suddenly become fun and enjoyable when you're drunk. But
How much do you tip for?
You're back on this. I love that you're still looping.
How much?
Oh, no. We're still talking about the same thing.
How much do you tip for the guy who sells you merchandise afterwards?
what are you talking about? I have to sell my own. Oh, in Australia, I have to pay for it. Here, I usually sell it myself.
I normally get a chick to do it while I'm signing stuff, and so they get the money and all that sort of stuff. I normally give them $20.
Yeah, that's totally
that's fine.
acceptable.
Yeah.
Totally acceptable.
I think Eddie's lying. I don't think the stuff.
Oh,
is
we
like-
never talked about.
That's
you
Jim's
still
still
on
been
that?
in that.
Did really, which stuff? Where?
Yeah,
said that?
let's get into this, Eddie. Come on.
Huh?
Never mind.
Which stuff? Where? Don't just say it.
No.
Where? Say where?
The airplane story.
What?
The Korea, on the way to Korea with the chick and the Bobby Lee and the.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I remember that story.
What?
Where you
What?
didn't mind, like basically Shayna Tosh. Is it
What's her name?
Shayna Tosh claims that I tried to kill her.
right? That was it. Oh yes.
What's this? What's this? Oh!
She is crazy as shit. I'll
I thought we
even
were
sit
still
up
talking
for
about the
this.
staff not liking me.
No.
You're still on that. Jesus Christ.
Well, I think I'm very nice to the staff.
Did you listen to the Bobby Lee episode of this? Of
No,
this podcast?
why does she? You know what? We were on this plane. We were flying from Singapore to Diego Garcia to entertain
Yeah.
the troops, and we lost cabin pressure, and we plummeted like 20,000 feet.
Yeah.
And I never knew the bitch needed some fucking oxygen. And
When you
so
see someone
I-
turning purple, does
She
that?
was not turning purple. She had her lesbian friend that she had met at some fucking thing where she go-go dances who was putting like a bubble head on her. So I assumed she was fine with the fucking mound humper. I thought she was all right. And then she bought me a shirt, a Hello Kitty shirt the next day in Malaysia.
Yeah, but you didn't offer her
share your
oxygen.
oxygen.
She never asked. She's so fucking
It's kinda hard when you can't
crazy.
breathe to ask
Oh,
for stuff.
Jesus Christ. She's so fucking crazy, that broad. Surprise, surprise. She ain't working. Surprise, surprise.
We heard you were best friends before that, and then it ended after that.
We were not, I don't think we were ever best friends. I always got like one wounded baby bird I like to take care of.
Who is
I always
it
got
now?
like one friend. There's always one friend
Who's
that's
the
like
friend
a
now?
wounded. I don't like to say who it is now, but I always got one.
Maybe she bought you the Hello Kitty shirt because.
You don't buy somebody that denied you oxygen.
No,
a
but
Hello
maybe that was
Kitty
like you guys
t-shirt.
had a lot of flights left. I mean,
She was worried that I would just try to snuff her out. I almost died holding a grape soda next to Shayna Tosh. That's not
Does
a
she
way you
call
want to
you
die.
now when like she needs a friend to help move?
No, she was
And,
like,
and you're like, no, I can't help. And she's
No,
like,
you know what's-
you didn't give me oxygen.
there's always something bothersome. I don't like people that claim like I'm a working comic. I'm like, no, you drag your shit out front every fucking weekend for a yard sale. You ain't a working comic.
I agree with you, and it bothers me. And people get mad at me. Some girl said to me once, or she told a friend of mine, she goes, you know what Eddie F said to me? I told him I was a comic, and he said, really? I play basketball. I don't call myself a basketball player. Like
If you-
and I believe that if you're a fucking waiter and that's how you make a living, and then you do comedy at
Yes.
night, you're not a comedian.
No.
Like you make your living as a waiter, and you because it takes away from what.
Everybody else does.
Yeah, and it's like it's frustrating, and it's. But I got to admit, my second week doing comedy, I was on a plane going to Boston to visit a friend, and some guy goes, "What do you do?" I go, "I'm a comedian."
Did she really try? Does she really still claim? Is she holding on to that?
Hey. You deserve
No,
it.
See,
what
I mean,
Jim wants to know is
it's been 30 years since that happened.
But
What's the big
really,
deal?
Yeah, it's been like
but really,
45.
people think Jim's a bad tipper.
Yeah, are you
I'm
still
not
on
a
that?
bad tipper.
Jim has been in his head this whole time thinking, what fucking club is it?
No, I think Eddie, you're lying.
I
aren't you?
was joking.
All right, because I'm very
Let him
nice to
go,
the staff.
please. Let him be.
Like the amount of staff members that I've slept with, they better fucking appreciate it.
How well do you tip
On that
after
note,
you sleep with
good night,
someone?
everybody. Thanks for listening. This has been the longest episode ever of Talking Shit. We appreciate all the support. Please keep going to Jim. Write us emails at jimandeddie@yahoo.com. Most importantly, if you want to see Jason back on the show, we've got to have 8,000 friends on our Facebook page. 8,000.
April, you've got a podcast to promote, don't you?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no, she
Oh.
doesn't. No, she doesn't. Hey, you know who produces April's podcast?
A guy who owes us money.
Does he owe you money?
Yeah.
Oh.
David.
And he's
Sorry.
he's lying about it.
Nosy.
Keeps on saying, 60 days, 20 days, or never.
So support the podcast.
Has he gotten you any? Has he gotten you any money?
No, is there cash to be had?
How many listeners do you get?
I don't know.
You know, he got
I don't
into
know.
selling adverts because he wanted to meet women, and he produces a certain lady's podcast.
Yeah.
Is that
That's what he said. He got into this business
to meet women?
meet
And then
women.
he got a sweet divorce, and now he's in the podcast game. That's his.
Yeah.
There are better ways to meet women.
Yeah.
Have them come over to your living room and talk for an hour and a half.
You go to his living room and do it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting.
Jeez, you old people are open to scams. Oh,
He
God.
also sold me a piece of land.
He said if I just give him the money, then he'll be back in a week.
You gotta stop calling me fucking old in this goddamn business, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, do you know?
Oh yeah, because you're so young in the entertainment business.
Do you know how tough?
You're young in regular life.
Do you know how tough
Thank
it is
you.
for a girl
Not
to
in
get
this business. You're old in this business.
What the fuck, Jim? You son of a bitch.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'll be coming to you for a loan in a year.
Yeah, leave her alone. She's trying to audition
I
for
don't-
the Golden
I-
Girls
Yeah.
reunion.
I don't want to loan you money.
April,
There's a good
oh.
chance I'll never get it back. You could die.
At least you don't have a life-threatening disease.
Yeah.
Oh.
April, when you
Fights in the living room.
April, when you go to casting calls and it's like you and Betty White,
Why do you guys
Did you rejoice when Rue McCallaghan died?
No.
Did you think that's more work for me?
It hurts.
Yeah.
Oh.
And if you threw a party
should we talk about Whitney Cummings?
and invited everyone,
Is she still
you
28?
knew-
April, what's the name of your podcast? Say that while you're.
No filter. With the
How come
the whore and the Rican.
How come we've never been invited to do your
Yeah.
podcast?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to go together. We're not joining the hip.
I don't want to go now.
Individually, I'll come.
No, yeah.
You sound
Yeah.
so excited about it.
All right.
You
All
sound-
right.
you sound-
I don't
Is there
wanna-
going to be a fight? Are you guys going to fucking wrestle in the living room?
No, we come individually as people. So
I think you have to be separated
No,
from
what
time
we'll do
to
is
time.
now we'll see which one of us you want more. See who you ask first.
All right. Can we end the show, please? Please,
I
and
was
get to the
excited
next
to
one?
talk about Whitney Cummings.
You excited to talk about Whitney Cummings and goings, hopefully.
No.
No?
Bonus Whitney Cummings episode.
It's not good if it doesn't work for female comics. If her show doesn't make it, we're all fucked.
No.
Because then they just blame it
I
on
bet-
the
I bet-
ladies.
I
They blame
bet-
it on a gender.
That's what
I
they
bet
said
you
about
that
Dane.
show. I bet you that
That's
show
what they
does
said
well.
about Dane. They were like, Dane's good for all of us.
I believe that if you bring comedy to a group of millions of young adolescents who grew up loving the art form, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. All the people that shit on him.
I bet her show will do very well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to do really
And
well.
that'll do well for female comics.
Yeah, you're going to get a part on there.
Oh, you know I'm not. No, I'm not. She called my handbag out for being fake.
I know. You're still bitter about this. You
It
mentioned
hurts.
this in the last story.
She smelled the white trash on me. She sniffed it right out. She was like, "That's obviously not real."
Is she rich?
And I think she grew
At
up with
this
money.
That's why I
Yeah.
jerk
She,
off to
I
her.
think she grew up in a showbiz family, didn't she?
no, she
No.
didn't.
Did she?
No, Whitney Cummings has a new sitcom coming out on NBC. That's
Are you
who she
plugging
is.
it?
No, I'm just telling you that because so people who don't have any fucking clue who Whitney Cummings is.
Everyone knows who she is now. She's huge.
She's
Yeah.
massive. She's bigger than Sarah
She did, her
Silverman.
sitcom isn't out yet.
I don't
I'm sure
fault-
there's someone out there who doesn't know who
She's
she
the
is.
biggest, most famous, funniest comic alive right now.
I don't fault people's success. I just fault people who call my handbag out for that I got in a crawl space in Korea for being fake.
All right, there's your No Filter podcast. Go to Stitcher, download from our website, or get the app on your smartphone. Use the promotional code Jim and Eddie. Thanks.
Thank you so much for listening. Please follow us on our Facebook account. On Twitter, I think we've probably got something going on there as well. Come and see me. What day of the week is this? I think I'm in Denver. I'm not sure.
oh, fuck, I forgot to do. I'm at the Stress Factory in New Jersey.
Come buy tickets to see me in Boston
If I get on the
or Club Nokia in November, where I think Eddie will be performing as well.
And April's in Kansas City at Stanford
Stanford
and
and
Sons
Sons.
this weekend.
And go to April's podcast, No Filter Podcast, and add her on Twitter. What's your Twitter? At April Macy, right? At April Macy. Thank you, April Macy, for being on the show and being one of our favorite guests in the world. You are close to Brian McCarthy. We appreciate it. And thank you for all the listeners, the donations. Keep them up and keep listening and keep commenting. Comment on iTunes. We need lots of comments on iTunes. That helps our ratings go up somehow. I don't know fucking how, but do it. And if you've listened this far, I can't believe you have. It's been fucking 2 episodes and you listen to the whole thing. And no one has ever been a 2-part episode. So, oh, shit, this is awesome. All right. Thank you. Good night.
Talking